Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Milton Spence with Milt's Coaching Corner. I'm here today in order to share the good news with you guys. I like to get right into it, but first and foremost, I want to say thank you to each and every person who takes the opportunity and takes the chance on me to give me any type of support on my YouTube, on Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, all of your podcast listening platforms that everybody listens to me on, in every country that I'm also playing in. I appreciate each and every last one of you. I just want to say that. Now, this month we are focusing on a brand new topic, and it is this entire month will be all about achieving your goals. Achieving your goals is important, not only because of the fact it is something that we all aspire to do, but most of the part that it has to be something that we have that is within us. Achieving our goals is beyond anything that's precedent in this very world, because the goals constantly move and the goalposts constantly change due to the fact that we don't control a lot of things around us. Then our goals have to be able to adapt to exactly what it is that we are doing. When I say adapt, I don't necessarily mean that you become a chameleon and you shape your goals around the world, but I mean that you shape the world around your goals, meaning that you utilize what is there in order to achieve exactly what you want. I know a lot of people are looking at the fact that AI is coming and AI is doing so much in this space. But I will say that if you utilize it correctly, then you can use it in order to achieve the goals that you have. If they don't have an AI out there that helps you achieve your goal or whatever your specific goals are, then maybe it's up to you to create it. Who knows? But nevertheless, don't let anything make you fall short of what it is that you want to do. I said I wanted to become more consistent at my podcast, and I said I wanted to do better things in my life and to create more short films and do that. So I'm just doing it. I'm doing it while also mixing in full-time job, full-time parenting, and so on and so forth. But I do it because it is my goal. So technically, considering the fact that there's 24 hours in a day, my goals don't sleep, and neither do I. Well, yeah. Most parents can understand that one. But my goals don't sleep, so I don't necessarily have to sleep on them because they're there for me. And I believe that what we have as a goal, we were called to. And I also believe that who and what we are is what we were called to do. Now, let's jump right into the topic, achieving your goals. How do you do that? Number one, I have to say, the way that you achieve your goals is to run after them with reckless abandon. A lot of times in our lives, we run after people, we run after situations, circumstances, money. We run after everything that has nothing to do with the goals at mind. We run after any and everything that has nothing to do with our goals or what we honestly want to achieve. And what I find odd about that is that we find ourselves in a position to always run after things that will not reciprocate instead of running after the things that will give us a reciprocation. But sometimes it comes through a hardship, and sometimes it comes through having to push past your own personal barriers. Now, last month we talked about that, a lot of self-actualization, a lot of self-awareness, and pushing past your barriers in order to become a better person. And I will say that once you get to that point, then you are one step closer to not only achieving your goals, but you're also to the point where you got to understand there is no quantum leap. These are step-by-step things. This is, you can take leaps and bounds, but it's still a step, right? Considering the fact that you have to be able to take the steps on the dirty road in order to get to the clean one. You got to be able to take steps in the factor of not wanting to do it, not wanting to show up, not wanting to listen, not wanting to do the things that is necessary in order for you to be able to achieve the goals that you have. Now, for me personally, I have different goals and things that I definitely want to do. And I think what would behoove me as well as anybody listening to this is to do the things that you know for a fact that you are pulled and called to do, right? Do the things that you know for a fact are pulling at you for you to do. Now, the only way, like I said, that you can achieve this is if you run after it with reckless abandon. Put yourself in a position where there is nothing else for you to do. Become totally obsessed with the things that you must do. Always have balance, sure, but be totally focused on that. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, well, where does that leave room for this person or that person or this or that? I must be honest with you. It may not leave room for them. It may not leave room for this and that person. It may only leave room for you. Sometimes we want to bring people along in the journey and we can't. Sometimes we want to bring our children along in the journey and we can't. Sometimes we want to do things. Now, that's not to say to leave your kids behind, move to another country and go achieve your goals and run after everything with reckless abandon. No, your children are your responsibility. It is in my place to say, though, that you have to understand that just because you do have children, it should not stop you from achieving the goals that you want. Now, I get it. There's roadblocks that come with that. And that's a very deep conversation that I don't necessarily want to get into because it will take up the entirety of the podcast plus, right? Because kids are important. But I will say this, when it boils down to it, achieving your goals, understanding that is nobody who is attached to you should be stopping you from doing so. And people who speak against your goals, you can either choose one or two things. Well, three things. Ignore them. Right? Let them bother you or use them as fuel in order to propel you to that new point in your life. Now, I will say this as well. You are not, and I keep saying this, you are not the summation of your parts. You're better than that. You're worth more than that. And your goals are telling you that you are, because think about the things that you really want to do. Stop for a second and think about the things that you really want to do that aren't attached to money, that aren't attached to people, that aren't attached to anything. Sit back and think about those things and understand that those very things that you want to do, the very things that you really want to do that aren't attached to anything, money, anything, those are the goals. Those are the true goals. And those are the ones that we, not just you, but we need out here in this world. Those are the things that we need for you to accomplish. Your goals, your call, this world needs that. The fact is, we attach our outrage, we attach everything that's not done to other people. We look to blame instead of stopping for a second to look inside and say, dang it, well, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing to achieve my goals? What am I doing to get ahead of myself? What am I doing to combat with the person I was yesterday? What am I doing in order to be a better human being? How am I doing this in order to get better? We go to work, we clock in, we clock out, we go to school, we play that video game, whatever we got to do to keep our mind off of the goal that is in front of us. We do all of these things instead of doing the one thing that we know for a fact that will set us free. And that's achieving the goals that we have set up before us. Now, I will say this, there is nothing better in your life than going after something that is worth your time, worth your energy, and your money in some cases, right? Most expensive, though, is your time. That's worth all those things, and you achieve them, and the reciprocal payment to those things is there. There's nothing else better, I promise you, than when you achieve your goal. Some people's goal is to get married to the person of their dreams. That's totally fine. That's totally okay. You can get married to the person of your dreams if that's one of your goals. But how do you do that? How do you become the best version of yourself in order to be able to attain the goals that are out there for you? How do you do that? Centering yourself spiritually is one way, right? Getting your mind right is another way. But overall, we're going to talk about, overall is running after it with reckless abandon. Running after it with reckless abandon. Don't walk after your destiny, you run. Okay. Now, another thing I wanted to cover in the factor of achieving goals is how to align yourself spiritually. Putting yourself in the center mass, how to align yourself spiritually. Now, you've heard me on this podcast talk about God, and you've heard me talk about the factor of how I love God and how what God has done for me, right? The reason I'm able to say that is because of the fact of my experience with God, because I've actually sat down and done the work and still doing the work, to get to a point where with God, I am not afraid to say that I have failed and I have fallen short of my own goals, my own things that I wanted to do, the very things that I wanted to put forth. I failed at those things. It wasn't until I had the reality that nobody was going to come save me, the reality that nobody was going to do it for me, the reality that I must just hunker down and do it, the reality that I will lose friends, the reality that I will be hurt, the reality that this is nobody else's job except for mine, the reality that I must do what I have to do in order to make it. Now, I know I said that word a lot, reality, because we have to come to a place where we are no longer living in the fallacy. I understand spirituality, Christianity, many other religions out there will lead you to believe that there's some type of magical, mystical thing that will happen just if you step out there, right? Just if you put up one podcast episode, magically, mystically, something will happen. The fact is, you had to record the episode. The fact is, you had to post it. The fact is, you had to do the work. The fact is, there's things that come about prior to the reward. There is no, I'm going to record this, I'm never going to post it. And somehow, some way, people are going to come and fall in my lap and listen to each and everything I got to say. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And granted, I totally understand that you could have a hopeful nature. I get that. But your hope must come based upon the fact of what you are seeing, right? I know the argument is faith without works is dead. Well, no, all you need is faith. Yes, that's very true. Both are true, right? Both are true in the sense that sometimes your faith takes you actually doing something, which is to have faith, which is number one. And sometimes it takes work in order to be able to have faith, right? Letting your faith work for you, and then you have to work to be able to have faith. Both of those are very much so internal and very much so deeper than just getting connected on a spiritual level. Now, when it comes down to what you believe in, who you want to connect to, how you want to connect to that being, it has to be where you have the, what do you want to say? You want to be radical in the factor of your belief. You want to stand on your belief. Now, I for one would not be a proponent of anybody believing in anything that is evil, that is inherently bad, that would harm other people. I for one am not that type. I am the one that would say, if you're, I believe in God. I believe in God. I believe Jesus Christ died for my sins. And I do believe that there is a heaven and hell. I believe in, heaven, hell, and Satan, the whole nine. I believe in everything. I am a Christian man. Yes, I'm a follower of Christ. But I am not here to tell you what to believe in. I'm here to let you know that whatever you say you believe in, whatever it is that you fall under, whatever it is, you need to believe that with 100% of you if you honestly want to achieve anything in your life. And here's why I say that. Because as you go throughout your journey and as you go throughout what it is that you want to do in this life, the goals that you want to achieve in this life, that will be your anchor. It will be your anchor. I promise you. And when I say that, I mean that it will hold you steadfast. Your faith will then have to work for you. It will hold you steadfast. So you don't go left, you don't go right, you go straight to what your destiny is. And some people have come to realize that what they believed in wasn't necessarily the strongest anchor. This is why I believe in God, because as I began to navigate this life and travel throughout the worlds of religion and travel throughout the worlds of, different belief factors, how to believe, how to pray, whatever, I've come to find that God is the only one that has been consistent. My belief in Christ has been the only thing that's been consistent and led me to deliverance. Nothing else. That is my own personal experience. Your experience is your experience, but I will let you know it will be your anchor as you go forward. Now, the meat of this is this. You will fall. You will lose faith. You will doubt. You will hate. You will hurt. You will cry. You will have pain. It will not be easy. You will not have good days. You will have rain. You will have clouds. And then you will have joy. And then you will have happiness. And then you will have peace. Because in order to build you, you have to be torn. In order to be built to achieve your goals, you have to be torn. And I hate to say it, but your goals are on the other side of your fear. They're on the other side of the things that you hate to do. They're on the other side of your laziness. Your goals are on the other side of the things that you hate about yourself. Your goals are on the other side of the peace that you can't find. Your goals are on the other side of that breakup that needs to happen. Your goals are on the other side of the love that you don't give. Your goals are on the other side of the peace that you will not afford others. You are the summation of the parts that you build upon yourself. You are not the summation of parts that people have said or done to you or about you. You are only the summation of what you do and say and are to yourself. There is nothing in this world, in this life, that will come save you. There is nobody out here that will help you besides you deciding. You decide. If somebody comes to help you and you don't accept the help, then they can't help you. You have to make a choice and decision to say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do what it is that I came here to do, and nothing, nobody, not even me, is going to stop it. When I was in college, I played ball, and one of my favorite sayings that I used to hear one of my teammates say, I forget who used to say it, but I used to hear him say, Coach, you can't kill something that won't die. You can't kill something that won't die. Is your dream, your goal, dead to the point, to the factor of your coach or the people around you killing it? Is that happening to you? Because if it is, can I give you some advice? Run to your dream, your goal, with reckless abandon. Forget those people. Leave them behind. Leave them where they stand. Because they are the summation of everything that is wrong. Because you have based your value, your self-worth on people who honestly mean you no good. There is nothing on this earth that means you bad except for people who do not want to see you do good. It may not all look the same. They may not come in all shapes and sizes, colors, races, creeds, whatever. The purple people eaters, I don't care. You will not ever go anywhere in your life if you're trying to hitch or latch on to people or latch the trailer to a dead weight. To a dead weight. You won't. The facts are, as you stand here, as some of you listen to this and you think about the goals that you want to achieve, think about all the things that you thought to do in a moment that you didn't do. Now that you've had an opportunity to realize those things, don't do it again. Act. When the idea comes, act on it. The idea can come at 2:00 in the morning. Get your butt up and act on it. Oh, it came while I was, write it down and act on it, because you only get one of these. You only got a little bit of time here, and you only get one of these. This life right here, you only get one. So do not waste it being down here focusing on people. Do not waste it being down here focusing on things that have nothing to do with you. Do not waste it on the fact that you, my friend, my good brother, my good sister, are not ever going to reach this point again. You're not going to reach this point again. Whatever point in your journey that you're on, you're not going to be here again if you're moving past it. Even if you're stuck in it, you're not going to be there again. You're just living in it. There is no again. You're just there. I know you want to go specific to the word of again, but you're just there. You're just in it. There's no coming back around to it. It's just you're in it. No matter what you think, you're in it. That's you. How do you change that? How do you turn that around? You got to detach yourself. You have to divest from any and everything that slows you. You have to divest from any and everybody that kills you. You have to divest. You have to take yourself away. You have to. Life is not over just because you do something in solitude. You want to honestly achieve your goals, then you got to achieve your goals. It may or may not have people tied to it. I am not of the school of people who are going to tell you, get 3 good friends and da da da. If that is a part of your goal to have the 3 friends help you and da da, whatever it is, whatever advice you have or have heard, whatever your goals are, do that. Whatever your goals are, you do that. Prayerfully, they're very good in intention. Prayerfully, they're very good in the way that they would be presented to us and done to us, whatever it may be. You do that. Take the opportunity to look yourself in the eye and say, I am going to achieve my goals. Now, moving on. Attaching your goals to the final result is the last thing we're going to discuss. So attaching your goals to the final result boils down to this. When you attach your goals to the final result, you are looking at the glass half empty, right? Because now you must fill it up. The filling part of it is being on the other end of the glass and realizing that it's empty, and then being on the other end of the glass and also realizing that it's also halfway full. Being able to see it through full perspective is everything. Understanding that your goal is there and you're here is big, is major. Understanding your goal is there and here is major, because you're looking at your goal from one end saying, okay, keep going. You're going to fill this up and you're going to get to me. Then you're looking from the other end and saying, I got this far. I have come this far. This is amazing. I have made it this far. You will be not only grateful for what you've done, you will not only be happy to be on both ends of the spectrum, but you also will achieve your goals faster if you would realize that you are the only one on the journey. When you look around, you'll be like, dang, I'm out here running 100 miles a minute, and I'm the only one here. I'm by myself. All right. Because when you don't have to necessarily deal with anybody else's opinion, and you don't have to deal with anybody else's thoughts except for your own, that means you become the challenge. That means you become the person that you have to stop. Isn't that detrimental where you would have to stop yourself? I don't want you to stop yourself. I want you to want to go through those obstacles, tear them down, rip them out, heart to heart, part to part, part from part, heart from heart. Rip it all out. Take care of yourself. Look in the mirror. Say to yourself, I am not the summation of parts that other people have provided to me. I am only as good as the information that I receive. I am only as good as the affirmations that I protrude. And I love going through the pain of it, because now it gives me the opportunity to know that I am okay. I am right where I stand. I am good right what I'm going through. I am not the summation of parts that other people have put on me. I am better than the things that I have done yesterday, and I will achieve my goals, because my goals are a part of my life. Who and what I am is not a part of whatever dead weight that I have decided to attach to myself. I will go forward. I will not faint. I will grow weary. I will get tired. I will be beat up. I will be sleepy. I will not want to, but I will not achieve my goals. I will achieve the goals that are in front of me. I will. Now, I know you want some type of practical step, but I'm here to tell you, achieving your goals is not practical, because if it was, that means the cemetery will be full of people who achieve their goals. This is the harsh reality. Not everybody will make it here. Everybody will go to the cemetery or whatever you decide. But not everyone will achieve the goals that they have set out to do, because they will not only stop themselves, they'll pull back, right? They'll make an excuse as to why. Here's the other part to that. When you make excuses to who and what you are, when you make excuses or when you try to fit in, not only just trying to fit in, but I guess you think that people want you to fit. People honestly don't know what they want. And if you've listened to this podcast this far, I'm either you're just a supporter, which I thank, but if you've listened to this point and it's touched you, then you're one of those people who know what they want. You just don't know how to accomplish it, and you're looking for some type of answer. Listen, that answer that you're looking for ain't on this podcast. It's within you. I promise you. I am here to show you the person that is within you and help lead you and guide you to a better life so that you can grow beyond exponential bounds and do the things that you are not only called to do, meant to do, specified to do, and overly and more than qualified for, because it is you, my friend. It is you who we need to finalize their journey, to fight the good fight, to get in there and achieve those goals. You're the person. You're the one. You are the one that we need to achieve those goals. I know you may feel stuck. I know you may feel like, God dog it, I can't. I get that. But I'm here to tell you, you're not the summation of parts of other people. You're not here to answer the call of another person. Their opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. The facts, the realities matter. Your feelings are not your guide. Your feelings or anything that has to do with the gravitational pull of, things letting you down, they're not your guide. Everything that hurts ain't your guide. Your feelings, how you feel about stuff, is not a guide. It is truly spiritual to achieve goals. I'm not trying to say, oh my God, I'm super religious. No, it is a spiritual thing to achieve goals because you have so much to overcome. And it ain't just feelings and emotions. You have so much to overcome. Yes, it's tough. Yes, to climb a mountain is rough. But just put one foot in front of the other. 1 foot at a time. 1 foot at a time. You'd be surprised. You put 1 foot in front of each other at a time in a year, or 2 year, 3, 4, however many years it takes. 4, 5. If it's 2 years, that's a blessing. But you gotta put 1 foot in front of the other in order to get to where you need to go without counting on your hand, the time, the years, the dates, the months, the this, the that, the people, that. Stop counting and only do. You should only know that I'm only achieving my goals. That's all you should know. That's all I'm doing. I'm just achieving my goals. I'm just doing this. I'm just handling this. I'm going after it. I'm running for it. You want to go out? No. Not helping me achieve anything. It sounds like a very boring life, and if it sounds cheesy, but I'm here to tell you, the reality is that if you run around this entire life, if you run around this place, and you don't give yourself the opportunity to be better than you were yesterday, and you don't give yourself the opportunity to not only achieve the goals that are set before you, but achieve the goals that have not even been seen. Get to a point where you have finalized one step, finalize the second step, the third, and just keep finalizing your steps. And next thing you know, you'll be running and your steps will be happening. Do not let anybody come and knock your focus off. If you have to, stay to yourself. If people try to figure it out, tell them the truth. We can't ever get to a place by lying to ourselves or others. So we might as well tell the truth. Hey, listen, the reason I'm not dating anybody right now is because I got so many goals that I want to achieve, and I just don't have time to entertain another person in the same moment. I don't. Because people do one or two things. They either give or they take. People either give or take. And if they're just taking from you, and they're not giving you anything in return, they're not reciprocating, right? If you also are giving your lack of effort, like say if you're married already and you're not committed to your marriage, but you also want to commit to goals? No way. Commit to everything. Commit to your marriage, commit to your goals, talk to your mate about it, tell them why you committed. And if your mate tries to stand in front of those things, then you have another story on your hands. Right? You have another story in your hands. You have another one. Either way, I want to thank you all for taking the time out to listen to me. It has been a ride. I pray that I said something to impact your life in a positive way. I also pray that you were able to grasp a little bit out of this and turn it into something that will help you take those steps, step by step, day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute. Don't overlap. Don't think that you can't achieve a goal and so you go find another one and go another. Don't do that to yourself. Just be wise, be safe, be prudent, and for God's sakes, be yourself. Be yourself. I love you. I pray you have peace. And most of all, I pray that you achieve your goals. Peace.